get kills as well. And Iconic has actually the lowest forward percentage of anyone in the LCS, which is time spent across halfway point. Normally junglers do have a decently low, forward percentage because you're farming a lot of your own jungle camps early on. But he has the very lowest, and a lot of the jungle proximity stats are very low for him as well still. Let's look at it though. A couple hovers here, for Niles. The Tristana, I think everybody's pretty happy with how flexible Tristana is as an early pick. It does forego the Hecarim though, which Hecarim extremely powerful. And even if Iconic does want to do a decent amount of power farming, Hecarim is one of those champions that can have that with also very convenient ganks. And the thing about it having really easy gank timings for Hecarim, your E and Ghost are on such low cooldowns that you always can play reactive and play to lane states. If your mid laner says, hey, I just blew this guy's flash. Hey, top laner says this is an opening here. This way say. Hecarim is so flexible. I think that's one of the things that is easy to adapt to with this champion. Because Q spam, you can always farm up, but you always also have openings for early ganks.
I love the fact that Broxah just flashed the Lee Sin hover there for a second, since that's one of his most accomplished champions, but we'll go back over to the Lilia instead. Movement speed to answer movement speed here in the jungle. The Tristana being drafted for CLG. I really like this because of the fact that WildTurtle had such a good performance on it in their victory against Cloud9. It was the 2v2, it was the bot gap that showed up for CLG, grabbing those first couple of kills, helping them to get off to a solid start in the early game. They'll have a Leona right next to it, with the Syndra and Hecarim drafted already for the side of Golden Guardians. I firmly doubt Brand will ever get locked in, and instead it is the Xayah to make sure they've got their marksman before more bans roll in.
I would also say, for me, Broxah's best game was a Lilia game. Since he's gotten here, single best game. So I really do think with Leona and Lilia, there are a lot of opportunities there for CLG to try and push the tempo. Straightforward here from Golden Guardians though, blinding the Syndra. There's been no answer early here for CLG, so Golden Guardians are free to ban out, Pobelter possibilities here for answering the Orianna, even the Echo, if they feel like, he's going to get pressured with kill pressure. I don't think with a Lilia jungle, that's going to be your concern though. So Galio first up here as far as trying to stop some of the engage. CLG don't want a Hecarim Galio combination. Everybody always talks about Camille Galio, but Hecarim Galio can be just as devastating because the fear buys you time, for that AoE to come in. And since Golden Guardians already have Xayah, they're pretty well protected against some of the dive.
All right, so we've got Gnar and Gragas banned away by the Golden Guardians. Definitely focusing on possibilities there in that top lane. They want to get some extra security for Niles, who has had a rough split overall with his performances. And we'll see what the remaining ban for CLG is here. 10 seconds left to decide on that one. They already know exactly what roles their opponent's champions are going into. There's no real flex opportunity for Syndra, Hecarim, or Xayah. All of those champions really just playing one role in Legends. So they know to farm and focus either the top lane or the support role. So they'll go for the top lane and ban out the Aatrox.
Saying they're not going to do a solo lane Xayah? Huh?
Yeah,
mix it up a little bit here.
Somehow I don't think that's the South, Kobe. So let's see what they want instead. Golden Guardians, I'm expecting them to probably pick support here. Leave that last pick open for Niles for the counter pick. Yeah. And yes, the Alistar locked in.
All right, I'm excited. Niles counter pick. His Gangplank is banned out, his main champion that he made a lot of fame on. But we're going to have to see Finn throw down first. He actually banned his own Aatrox here, which to me has been actually his best performing champion. It is one of the best ones, though, that is good against Sion. And we've seen so many top lane players now trying to incorporate the Sion into some of these plays. If Renekton is banned out and Aatrox is also banned out, what are you going to try and abuse this Sion with? Because Aatrox is so good against it because you're healing base. You can just sustain off this tank and you never get into dangerous territory with the damage possibility outputs of Sion. Finn has definitely been one of the super strong Sion players. It's played so much more in the LEC. So he already has those connections. And they'll just slap Pobelter on a scaling control mage, say, okay, beat us straight up, Golden Guardians. So what do you have?
Okay. Niles is going to play Kled into Finn. So Kled is one of those champions that doesn't get played too often these days. Finn is a player that does have plenty of experience on that, so he'll probably know how to deal with it. But Niles on the Kled, up here to try to make some plays and carry from the top side. Also worth noting, you mentioned the control mage being locked in for Pobelter. Control mage, AP mid lane. Lilia, AP jungler. AblazeOlive has Verdant Barrier just right in front of him, right there, all ready for the building.
Yeah, Pobelter's feeling like scaling anyways. It's fine. I'll just, clear waves along range here from the mid lane. Interested to see about this Kled pick into Sion, because feels like Sion, get your Bramble Vest. If Kled's not really making a lot of space on top side, opening up, possibilities for dives and stuff, which actually can be dangerous against Sion, considering, Zombie can get back up and punish you if you make a mistake in it, if there's any sort of cover from their team. And Lilia can send seeds over from pretty far away too to try and hamper that. Definitely gonna have a magnifying glass up there. For CLG though, hey, guess what? They've got a Viktor mid looking for scaling. They've got a Sion top side into a more aggressive bruiser. So they want to make plays bottom. It is WildTurtle and Smoothie, the early game carry there for CLG. And their stats in the early game have been quite good for lane phase. Honestly, CLG, tracking a lot of the early plays and a lot of the early first bloods for this team. WildTurtle and Smoothie have been doing quite well for themselves, if not for the fact of CLG losing so many mid and late games.
Well, hey, Finn's getting a butt whooping up here in the top lane. Second bear trap on a rope connect. Niles is going to first blood. Flash forward, Finn. Not using the flash till way later on, and it means he ends up getting first blooded. It's a 1-for-1, yes, but Niles is on the board.
Flowers, we posed a question to him. We wanted early action, early space on the top lane. It can't get any earlier than this.
Nope.
Niles is up to the challenge. Yoinks him back on the chain. As soon as you get that first yoink, Finn can't get away. So Niles fully stacks up Conqueror, runs him down. Even though you've got a grass proc here ready for Finn, he gets it off. The healing is moot because of the pullback Grievous Wounds, and Niles is happy to trade flashes for the extra bonus gold off of First Blood. That's a full longsword here. So Finn tries to get some armor for himself with the cloth armor, but can't even get back to lane. Niles is gonna zone him out again, stack up his Conqueror. Lilia you see in the river right now, but the health fleet is gonna be here solid for Niles.
Well, he's just about knocked off a Skarl, so he will lose a little bit of laning power after that one. But hey, good stuff from Niles, grabbing himself first blood this early on into the game. You do like to see that here for the Golden Guardians. Let's take stock of everything and where we're all at here. Phase rush for both of the junglers, so plenty of fast movement this game. Stixxay with a cleanse down there in bottom lane to get away from some of the CC that will be coming his way from Smoothie, and it is Smoothie and Turtle that hit that level 2 power spike first. Keep your eyes on these guys with Tristana and Leona together. It's so much all-in power. Tristana used to be a champion that didn't have the greatest early laning phase. She was all about scaling, but turns out Hail of Blades giving you that free massive attack speed boost on an ability that you max that scales off of attack speed makes her a pretty competent laner as well.
Oh yeah, she's for sure my favorite AD carry champion right now, even with how good Xayah is, because of the fact that so many of her lanes are kill lanes. Pair it with Leona, jump on in, rocket jump, looking for kills, ignite Leona there for Smoothie. This is what WildTurtle and Smoothie have been doing for a lot of the season, is trying to create their own advantages. And I do want to track the junglers, because Broxah did something in this one where he started topside blue buff and went to go steal early Raptors from Iconic. Now, so it is really low.
He lives though. He lives. He's got his horse buddy nearby, so he can gallop off into the wild blue yonder and heal himself up a little bit. Has his TP to get back to the lane in time. So Niles will be okay. Iconic picks up the Scuttle Crab here in the top side of the river. And particularly for Golden Guardians, because the conversation is always on the fact that this is a development roster. This isn't one of those big budget squads of 5 that's designed to specifically win the region, it's all about improvement. It's all about leveling up, right? No, I'm serious. What are you laughing about? You got squads like Cloud9 and Team Liquid that got dollar bills to win the LCS. They are investing in this. They want to have trophies. They want to have titles. They want to go to international competition. Golden Guardians is investing in more inexperienced players, trying to grow those up. So I want to see those players get that experience. I want to see those players improve. And specifically for Iconic, I want to see him get involved more and be more of a carnivorous jungler.
I mean, they literally, look at the videos made by the two owners there. They got Steve with the money gun on Team Liquid, just pumping out dollar bills all over the place. And Golden Guardians at the beginning of the season make their video about how, hey, yeah, we lost most of our funding. So that's why we're doing development roster. It is kind of a forced situation there. They're trying to make the best of. So definitely true. As far as it playing out right now, though, and Niles being carnivorous, hey, he for sure has stayed true to trying to play aggressive early. He's been going for these early aggressive trades. Did flash in for that first blood, was rewarded, and as you said, when Skarl ran off, Hecarim ran in. Now they're looking mid stun hits.
Okay, Pobelter eating the damage here early on. A little bit more flying through. Iconic grabs one last hit on the Rampage, but it's not enough for the kill, but the Q gets it done. Pobelter does not use the flash to save his own life, and Golden Guardians finds a second kill.
You disrespected my boy AblazeOlive, not able to hit that Q, huh? No flash from Pobelter? Goes down. Niles, though, dismounted again. Guess what? Skarl runs away. Call in the second horse here. Iconic has arrived. Can they bait in Finn, though?
Well, Iconic's just going for it, man. He's got the ghost. He's got the devastating charge. He brings Sion back away from the turret, but considering Kled did not have enough courage to remount, there's no follow-up to keep Sion away from the safety of that tier 1. So Finn lives to see another day.
Yeah, he just will not get baited in multiple times here. There have been openings where there's no vision for Finn of Iconic, and yet Finn does not take the bait. This has been one of the things where we've seen a lot of players failing in Sion versus Renekton matchups, playing more aggressively than you really have the authority to do in the matchup early on, and leading to more early deaths. Finn is well aware and not going for those, though. He's more the man of stone than the man of steel. And he's just like, you know what, fine. You get knocked off, I'll just stand here. I'm waiting for my minions to come to me.
Just playing it slow and steady to win the race. But the race is currently being led by the Golden Guardians, who have that 400 or 500 gold lead, thanks to that extra kill they got on Pobelter there in the mid lane. So nice early game here from these guys. Also, what is that? The second time this whole split that CLG didn't get first blood, thanks to Niles' bravery up there in the top lanes. The Golden Guardians throwing him off the groove a little bit.
True. I remember the game that CLG were denied first blood, the Team Liquid one. They did end up winning that game still. So you get into a bit of a catch-22 sometimes with this team, thinking about going for the first blood. Definitely nice to have that gold, though. Especially for Niles, who Niles has definitely been the target with some of the kills and death statistics being thrown out. Hello, is my net okay, Flowers?
Mine's frozen too. Plus 14,
okay.
+1. You seeing the same thing?
I'm seeing it. Look at those gold numbers racking up.
We got some math on the screen right about now. This is
quick math. What's that equal, Flowers?
I was trying to think of back to those old games that you play in elementary school on the computer, but all I could think of was Mavis Bacon's typing simulator. My brain failed. That's my bad. It doesn't matter. We don't need Mavis Bacon. We got a Kled, and we got a Viktor, and we got a Syndra, and hopefully we get to see some pop-off moments here pretty soon. So AblazeOlive still pushing the wave out here in the mid lane. Has Iconic right behind him. Down here in bottom side. All right, never mind. We got to pause here for a moment. And luckily, it's not just my forehead on the camera this time.
They heard you. All right. What's your typing speed, Flowers? Let's break it out. Give us one sentence.
Per minute.
Can we get a sentence from Twitch chat? Me and Flowers, we're going to race right now. Who's got the better mechanics, okay? I'm a bit older, so maybe I get a little head start.
Wait, you're going to have a head start? You're like 2 years older than me. That doesn't count. You're acting like you're an old man.
I mean, two years in esports is like death sentence here.
Hey, we're just the commentators, man. Does that really count as esports? I feel like you're trying to grab a couple extra bonuses for yourself.
Okay. You know what? We'll have a fair game when we actually get it set up. Me and you in the typing ring, we'll settle it there. As far as this game, though,
we're going to break out the notepads. And once we're back in the studio, we're pulling up 2 monitors next to each other, 2 keyboards, 2 notepads. And we just got to transcribe whatever somebody's talking to us. We're going to make this showdown happen.
We could do that. Or we could actually use one of the typing programs that's actually built for races like this.
That's not scuffed enough. We need to make sure that we got a good old-fashioned homegrown typing challenge, buddy.
All right.
Not some of this fancy, smancy, actual numbers type of stuff here. I don't know what you're talking about, but we do have a pause. We are trying to figure out exactly what's going on with that one. Once I have any details, I will update y'all with that and let you know when we can expect to get back into the game. But, Kobe, how are we feeling about this early game here so far? Golden Guardians making some moves.
They certainly have. First blood top side. Also, the gank towards mid onto Pobelter. Hubris, no flash from him. Had plenty of time there as the last Q was pretty telegraphed coming out from AblazeOlive. And I have to say, liking what I see from the Golden Guardians. We started the intro here talking about CLG and improvements. The same list has been true for Golden Guardians as far as what they're looking at, developing these players, and early proactive plays and trying to get the early game in control has been the #1 thing for them so that they can actually, set themselves up for some of these mid-game decisions. They had Inero talking about in his video. He didn't even care if they actually lose the game as long as they're looking for those proactive plays. So yeah, you got to give him credit there. Coach is happy already.
Well, we're back into the game, so that makes me happy too, but Iconic's not too content with the current situation he finds himself in, has to ult back over the wall to escape the CLG collapse.
All right, that's a proactive, get my ass out of here ult from Iconic. I like it.
Sometimes you gotta take those.
Yes, sir. Take matters into your own hands. I am out of here. Bottom side, though, Turtle.
Bottom side, it's Newbie trying to disengage this one. Beautiful 3-man knock-up coming out of there, but Smoothie goes for the CC after the fact. Stixxay flashing away. So it's both summoner spells from the CLG AD carry, but they don't end up losing anybody down here, so I'll call that one a win for Golden Guardians, excuse me.
Yep, CLG, both summoners and his ultimate, so Xayah definitely could be very vulnerable right now, but he'll be happy to get out with his life. I want to see how many, WildTurtle now on the Tristana was going to push up and greet a turret plate. I feel like I almost always will greet a turret plate in that scenario as a Tristana, especially since they have a ward there on Iconic, but he really wants to get his recall off base timing first and get back to the minions. Maybe his explosive shot still on cooldown and he felt he could not quickly enough grab a turret plate with that. Regardless, as you say, CLG's still happy to get the summoner spell advantage down there.
All right, top side, Finn and Niles checking in on the farm here. Niles still having about a 1-wave lead. Finn doesn't find the slow there, so he won't be able to pursue any further trade, but Niles jumps right back in onto him. Yes, he is in the baby Yordle form here, quickly restacking the courage, and he's right back up on the lizard. Yeah,
you can tell while Finn, even though it looks like, oh, I've got such a nice health lead here, knocking him off, off Scarl before he's even taken like 200 damage. By nature of stacking up Conqueror and being able to have your W timing coming back up for your Savage Strikes there for Niles, he knows to respect it. As you stated, Finn is one of the players with a lot of time on Kled. That's actually one of the players Azael likes watching the most from LEC because of the Kled focus. And he shows it there by once again not overextending versus the Kled so many times here. He's rushed straight into the armor. There's the Bramble Vest that we were looking for, the Steel Caps rush. I think he's doing the Sion side of the matchup justice here by not overextending. Meanwhile,
Finn comes over the wall. They know that they got the flash already, and AblazeOlive is out.
What a play! Sion, you take a beating up in your matchup over and over versus the Kled, and Finn decides to make a play. Another play from Finn. I think this guy's been so good for CLG, making plays for the rest of the team. He flashes over the Raptor pit again. He has done this previously. Really good into knock up there from Finn. It was after AblazeOlive's flash had been blown just moments earlier. So I think that's a really good, just reactive call here to have Finn come over. You know, Kled had a big wave up there. He's pushing in, and they punish that flash blown by AblazeOlive to get some gold back for themselves, turn it into a dragon as well.
The Dragon going over to CLG, a pretty late first Drake, all things considered. So even if they can continue to stack these as the game moves forward, we won't see one of those super early, low 20-minute kind of souls. And we'll see if the Golden Guardians decide they want to respond to that next Drake, or if they're fine just allowing CLG to have the first two. A lot of times, if you give away the first one, you don't have much of a problem giving away the second. We can see Golden Guardians invading the enemy jungle here. Broxah will sweep out a ward, but newbie's coming around. Headbutt pulverized into the follow-up onslaught of shadows, and goodbye, Broxah.
Oh my goodness! Broxah just got mugged inside his own jungle, trying to clear out a ward. Golden Guardians and all their ultimates used on him. Not done.
The Golden Guardians are dogpiling even further. They're going after Finn next, and they got him. Now everybody's getting away. Niles has been dismounted. Finn's dead body is mad as hell. But I'm sorry, anger's not going to get you anything here, Mr. Sion, as they grab 2 kills for nothing. Golden Guardians making the plays.
And the teleport back down bottom side to try and stop this Tristana pushing. Turtle, he did get his explosive shot off this time on the tower, though. Gets the turret plate for himself, you know, after being able to push it in. And they had a little rotation, too, to, you know, send Xayah up towards mid to catch that wave. Oh, my God, that's so brutal. Flash from Alistar combo plus Hecarim and Syndra ultimate, but they're not done. After taking out, you know, the jungler, Finn now is 4 people versus 1 under the tower, and even without the ultimates, Newbie leads the charge here. He gets CC'd from 100% to 0 still there. No opportunity for recourse there for Finn. Don't think he probably had his ultimate cooldown up, but just no chance to even use it there, as you would have to do it preemptively as Newbie is approaching for the Alistar combo, because once he got knocked up and comboed there, couldn't get out of the stun. So Golden Guardians making their coach proud once again, trying to keep those early game plays going, looking for the tower dives, pushing the game forward. Definitely some improvement here for this team.
Golden Guardians looking pretty good in the first 14 minutes. Turret plating has fallen, so we'll take a look at where the gold is, and it's just about 1,500 ahead for the Golden Guardians side. Yes, they're down that first Drake, but a single Cloud Drake will not make or break the game. Still useful to keep all those valuable CLG ultis up as often as possible, but when we're looking across the game state, we can see those mythic items are coming online for most players right about now. The Kraken player completed for WildTurtle, and bottom side Finn and Niles. I don't think this is going to go much of anywhere. Nope, Finn's shield is too strong now. He's just going to bonk that little Yordle over the head.
Yeah, he has fully stacked Conqueror now and gets another yoink for Niles, but can't chase him down too much. Is taking a decent amount from the minions as well with these aggressive trades. They also don't have vision on Lilia, so Niles does have to be a little bit more careful down there. There's no deep vision for Golden Guardians. And, you know, as much as they're continuing to look for openings, he knows now he is weak side, because all these times where you don't know where enemy jungler is, you always have no excuse for losing track of your own jungler. And so you have to play like, yeah, Iconic is topside, and Niles is backing off appropriately, giving up the invade there to Broxah.
And AblazeOlive about to claim the first turret of the game with no plating left. And look at Newbie. He's there just in case CLG wants to rotate anybody up to stop AblazeOlive. They could go for the Wombo combo play and try to 100-0 him with the power of the Syndra. Nobody walks up to stop that, though. So Golden Guardians will build that lead up over 2,000. Gold popping up on the left side of your screen right now. AblazeOlive is the richest man in the game, and there's only one CLG player in the top 5, and of course by 5 gold, Broxah gets in there to make me a liar. Okay, now it's true again. Screenshot that, and 4 out of 5 of the top earners in the game are Golden Guardians.
You gotta know the right time to submit your work. turn in your paper. Immediately do it now, before anything changes on the graphs. You know, being the richest player as well, you got your Verdant Barrier early on that you were hoping for, Captain Flowers, for AblazeOlive, and with the extra money, he's now able to complete his Ludens. So the burst damage on your Ludens completion plus your level 11, so you have rank 2 now for your Unleashed power for AblazeOlive. We are looking for more one-shots, buddy. There's perk treads on Pobelter, but that is about it for the CLG side as far as trying to survive one of those two. Rank 2 Syndra Ultimate with full Ludens completed at 16.5 minutes is just so difficult for any any carry, any jungler, even Smoothie to try and survive.
Iconic moves forward to try to contest the Drake, but the Sion ulti's already going in, looking to engage here. Finn flashing back out to make sure he doesn't get jumped on here as he was in the middle of 3 players. Smoothie may be the target as Niles looks to engage. CLG walking away from this one. Golden Guardians doing the same. Health bars hurt on both sides, but more of the damage has been done to the Golden Guardians. Finn thinking about recalling there for a second, knowing he has the TP to rejoin. But Golden Guardians are pressuring the Drake here, making it so Finn does not feel safe going back and requiring the channel time on the TP. Drake down to 2,000 HP, plenty of feathers there in the ground. Flash being forced out of Broxah. Dragon slain by Golden Guardians. Drake counts now a 1-for-1. WildTurtle being jumped on by Iconic, and the damage comes down onto Smoothie. Iconic nearly finding the solo kill here, but WildTurtle over the wall stays alive. It is a Drake plus a kill for the Golden Guardians.
And Golden Guardians, after taking down Smoothie and running Turtle out of the fight, they've got priority on mid. So you turn that Dragon into a mid tower as well. More gold, deeper wards. This could be it, Flowers. We're looking at Golden Guardians. It seems like it's been so long since they've had this level of control. All the way through 18 minutes being able to successfully push here, for one of these mid-game objectives.
Well, they are doing pretty good here this game, my friend. Doing all right indeed. 3,500 gold up, 2 turrets to nothing. Drakes are tied. Niles will continue trying to survive in the bottom lane, but let's take a look at the replay of how this fight went down.
All right, you mentioned on the top side there, the little, well, never mind, back to the 1v1. Pobelter, get out of there.
Run away, buddy. Run away. Niles tries to go for the play there. Doesn't quite have his ulti to be able to run after Pobelter after he disengages there, but Niles does win out in the 1v1, and that allows AblazeOlive to come down here. He's your replacement. It's time to swap off, and it's AblazeOlive down here controlling the bottom lane.
Okay, so first time since week 3. If they're able to get this win here for Golden Guardians, they put a stop to their 7-game loss streak. And as you said in the intro, these game records hold over with Summer, so they really do count. Even though they have been at the bottom of the barrel, no time is too late, to start making these improvements. So moving forward, Chem Tank is done here. Hecarim is looking towards the Dead Man's Plate. Iconic with Newbie are looking for possible flanks here. Broxah is a very good target to try and punish. No flash on the Lilia. She's extremely squishy. You can burst him from 100% to 0. So he has to be very careful when clearing out that vision, and you see him immediately back off as the Alistar and Hecarim move into the river.
WildTurtle's just farming up everything he can right now. His farm is still even with his opponent. He's 0-0-0, so hasn't been involved in either of the kills that CLG has found for themselves. But if he continues to scale up on this champion, we know what Tristana can do in the late game. Working towards that Phantom Dancer now that Kraken Slayer is completed. I like the attempt at the steal over the wall in the red buff from Stixxay, but just not quite there. And that means that CLG still maintains control over their side of the map for now. But look at the wards being placed down in this bottom side jungle, Kobe. It's Golden Guardians trying to push the issue forward, take control over Mora Summoner's Rift, and continue to build this lead.
Now it gets a bit more tricky, though. I feel like as the game goes on, the tests get harder and harder in League of Legends, just generally. And cresting the 20-minute mark. Once Baron is on the map, is on the table here, now for Golden Guardians to be able to juggle this, you need to retain pushing out your side lanes there with Niles, with the Conqueror, for Kled, constantly looking for flank pass to speed him and Iconic. Ideally from the same path to find that flank, because you can have Newbie coming from a different angle, but if you have Iconic coming from the angle with the Kled, you get such a big boost in threat with the extra speed from the Kled ultimate transferring into damage. That plus the Chem Tank just makes Hecarim get there so insanely fast and actually have damage pressure even with these full tank builds, on some of the carries. You can get a 50% chunk on a Viktor, on a Tristana, if you're able to get that correct flank.
Hecarim running so fast, he looks like Rammus in a horse costume. And that's what Golden Guardians need, is to send that Rammus horse into the back line like a ballistic missile and completely
ram the Rammus horse.
Pobelter and WildTurtle, and anybody getting hit by that is not going to have a good time, except maybe Sion, but there's no reason to send a Rammus horse after the Sion. That would make no sense. That would be foolishness.
So
Golden Guardians has control over the bottom side river. The next Drake is spawning here in about 35 seconds, and you know they want to continue building the lead down there for that.
What's more scary, a Rammus with a horse costume just rolling down there with his Powerball, or a Hecarim with 4 wheels of 4 Powerballs instead of legs?
Okay, that one's way scarier. That's actually a Hecarim that has been enhanced with Terminator-style body augments to become a race car. The Rammus in a horse costume, when he rolls in a circle, the legs just flop around all over the place, and he looks like a jellyfish anyway. It's not really that scary.
Yeah, I want a new April Fool's skin that is Hecarim with the legs replaced with 4 Rammus. So he's got 4 Powerballs charging around. We got our dragon set up here, though, Flowers. It's on the table now. Mounted Dragon has arrived, and AblazeOlive trying to take down the outer turret first. You see they already have their Tri-Brush ward, their ward behind the red buff, so they are checking their boxes, doing their homework for their objective setup here. As we talked about, you know, the mid-game tests getting a little bit more difficult. They check them all off, and they basically push CLG out of even contesting this dragon just by moving up those wards, taking down the bottom turret, and CLG have to make the call to continue to try and scale.
Oh, Pobelter about to be hunted to 0. To AblazeOlive going for the damage, and the auto attack kills him off. AblazeOlive with a solo kill on Pobelter.
Yeah, scale on this. Why don't you go scale in the fountain? He's telling him, sends him right back. Oh my goodness. Pobelter has been a beast on the late game Viktor. If you remember, multiple CLG big comeback games have actually been with him on the Viktor doing a lot of work in these team fights. But AblazeOlive hands him another death. Syndra here, full burst in operation. Like, he's even pretty safe. Actually finishes up the Banshees out of the verdant barrier for himself, so has the protection against some of the initiation. Long-range Leona ultimate, Lilia trying to tag you, even gives him the confidence to go right back to split pushing. Teleport is ready for him as well.
All right, Golden Guardians just got to keep this up. The gold lead keeps on building slowly but surely. They do have some powerful options in the late game. We know that Xayah is a scaling crit marksman in its traditional sense. She can just put out massive damage in a team fight. Iconic zooming in here. Niles joining up. Smoothie's in a bad spot. He can't get over to the wall to try to flash to safety. And Golden Guardians have their 7th kill of the game.
Flowers, this CLG story is going to be so perfect. They beat Cloud9. They beat Team Liquid. And now they're on the brink of losing it to the Golden Guardians, the last place team here. Looking to improve on their 2-14 record. Another engage, this time for Niles. Gets them the kill. CLG trying to counter push, but already Golden Guardians pushing out both side lanes and will gain tempo on the map. First, you get your extra 30 seconds by pushing top and bottom. Then they can look for another collapse.
Golden Guardians, man, having a great game here today, and they got to be feeling good about how it's been going for these first 25 minutes. Newbie and Iconic making tons of plays here with their squad. Newbie leading the charge into the enemy jungle yet again. WildTurtle's going after the red. Iconic jumps in. TY for leash in the all chat, baby. Iconic with a free red buff, and Turtle is denied.
Yeah, I like it. Newbie, he knocks the red buff further away, but he actually causes Turtle to ult him back. And so then now that there's no ult down, Turtle can't ult away the Hecarim, and Iconic gets to run in for the smite. So another objective picked up there for Golden Guardians. CLG looking to punish AblazeOlive, though.
AblazeOlive with the flash away, but it's a flash for flash there. Smoothie had to use his own to go for the engage. Because of the fact that the Banshee's Veil is up and running on AblazeOlive's, Smoothie knows that he has to hit Zenith Blade just to pop the bubble and then hit the ulti after the fact to actually lock his opponent down. So AblazeOlive can walk away from that one. 2 minutes until Drake spawns. Baron is live here on the map. We are 26 minutes into the game, so that will be a possibility if there's another big team fight win here for either side, with the Golden Guardians being the ones that you would expect to work towards that, considering the leads in the fights that have happened so far.
Also, we are going to put to the test this late game, coordination for CLG that has also been under the microscope, as they didn't get the normal early leads, right? You mentioned the first blood, Niles immediately taking that one off the table, but we also didn't get, this, kind of normal big lead for Turtle or Smoothie creating action on bottom side of the map, which is pretty much their only, aggressive part of the draft. It's expected for Sion to be weak side into Kled. It is expected for Pobelter on the Viktor to focus on clearing the waves towards mid. And bottom side was going to be the only area there for CLG where they might try and jump out to that early lead. But with that start for them now, they have had a hard time kind of reversing fate and gaining control of anywhere on the map. They have been able to slink in a couple of wards up by Baron just to make sure it doesn't get taken away under the cover of darkness by Golden Guardians, but they're going to need to turn their efforts towards the Dragon here, 36 seconds away, trying to gain control of the river before Golden Guardians can set up.
And I like the fact that Niles went for the Black Cleaver here on the Kled, because remember this item was, well, it's just pretty bad for a long time, but in 11.5 it changed. They added some more movement speed onto it, so it allows him to chase after these targets like the Viktor and the Tristana and the Lilia that want to kite him away and more effectively stick to them. So I'm really liking the itemization we're getting out of him here in this game. Finn is there in the brush. He's the man on point, but he gets over the wall, and the engage continues as Golden Guardians kill the enemy top laner. Newbie flashes over the wall to make sure it's not a one-for-one trade, and with a 5v4 on the map, Golden Guardians secure themselves their third Drake of this game.
And Flowers, they might not stop there. Finn does have teleport, but they can easily start to pressure on Baron now. You already have bottom lane pushing, so if you go for the reset, you can just keep Niles down there. Teleport is ready on the Kled, plus he has ultimate. So you just transfer over your control wards now to the Baron pit. Golden Guardians actually have a very good turn off of Baron, given that they have multiple flankers. And if you have control of Fog of War, teleporting in the Kled means Alistar from one direction, Kled from the other with Hecarim engaged will be very difficult for CLG to try and face check towards the Baron. That's why you see them already kind of jumping over there, trying to get some defensive vision down for themselves. And Golden Guardians, if they just send Niles right back to split pushing, they can try and draw out more of these cooldowns from CLG. Currently, the only Scryer's Orb that's available is the one that Pobelter has, so they only have that one vision check in use on the Trinket.
Pobelter also has Stopwatch in inventory. That's something the Golden Guardians need to be aware of and not overcommit towards. Iconic walks past the brush that CLG is camping out in. A lot of CC and damage coming through, but the horse is not afraid just yet. Pops on the Spirit of Dread. A lot of damage onto Alistar, and CLG's got a pick. Nicely done, grabbing the kill on Newbie.
Yeah, especially because of the timing. CLG have no options. They have to try and fight over this vision around Baron. And Golden Guardians are split. They had AblazeOlive topside, no teleport. The Syndra is one of the most fed members on the team with all the damage. So CLG, they have to take every opportunity that presents itself, and they do. No hesitation. They use all their ultimates there. Broxah throwing out the sleep, Smoothie immediate Leona ultimate, and Pobelter as well bursting down with the damage. They have to take that opportunity. They get the kill, steal away a mid turret for themselves and get that gold to try and get into a position where they can actually fight the team fight that is coming around Baron, or at the very least in 3 minutes around the Dragon Soul fight.
Right. 3 minutes is kind of your maximum allowed amount of time without a team fight. If you're CLG, you're still down about 3,500 gold, so there's still a lot of progress that needs to be made. 3-item power spike for WildTurtle, including an Infinity Edge, means that the damage is there, as long as Turtle is protected and able to find that opportunity to fire. But when the front line is that Hecarim and that Kled and that Alistar all running at you just so incredibly fast, it's difficult to keep WildTurtle in a spot where he can maximize that damage potential. Now down here in the bottom lane, you can see Niles continuing to apply pressure in the split push situation, always making sure that this lane is shoved out, while the rest of CLG up on the other side of the map has decided that they will take this opportunity to clear out some of the vision around the topside river, take control of the Baron pit. Look at how many control wards are around this topside river and around this topside CLG jungle. They are very, very concerned about making sure they have control over this area.
And they have to be, and that's why that mistake by Iconic and Newbie being too aggressive, fighting over this, vision, while they have their Syndra, this fed Syndra topside with no teleport, unable to add any sort of damage or CC or any threats to them fighting and contesting this vision. It was such a big mistake, because that is a little step back in for CLG that is kind of costly. You see the item completions now coming in immediately. CLG, Pobelter just finished his Zhonya's, so the Viktor can operate level 16 now within these team fights, creating a lot of the space. They've got Sion to work off of with a very strong front line, and you had your eye on Turtle this whole time. He's slapped on the little baby last whisper. There goes Smoothie.
Okay, Smoothie here at the start. Finn jumps in, but it doesn't find a whole lot after that, but Finn's thrown up the wall. Now Niles jumps back into the fight, but they just have to walk away and focus Finn instead. Nobody else from CLG's around to keep him in the right spot. That was the unluckiest blast cone of all time, and Finn drops dead for it.
Zombie in the back lines now. Golden Guardians will be able to use this teleport from AblazeOlive to get right back out. Honestly, if they just 56 seconds. All right, Dragon Soul won't be a good use of it. I thought maybe they can transition over towards Baron. At the very least, clear out all the CLG control wards around Baron. If not, try and bait them into something like a Syndra stun and use the teleport.
WildTurtle jumping in aggressively with a rocket jump, but now Turtle is a bit too far forward. Stixxay's in hot pursuit, looking for the damage onto both. Goes up into the ulti. Onslaught of Shadows will find neither. And thanks to the flash from WildTurtle, he can disengage safely.
Those are big cooldowns right before the Dragon Soul comes up. Captain Flowers, no flash on WildTurtle now for this team fight. He has to be very careful with his rocket jump usage. He has gone for the Kraken Slayer, much more damage output, but doesn't have, Gale Force for extra mobility or execution. So when he goes in with a rocket jump, he has to get that reset for CLG.
All right, CLG with control over the Drake pit area, immediately starting it up, seeing if maybe they can just rush this down before Golden Guardians can respawn, but now CLG is split up. Smoothie's tanking here in the front line, but he's tanking with nobody's DPS, and that's not the way it works. Broxah with a stasis to survive the ulti from AblazeOlive. Chaos Storm still dealing damage to the Golden Guardians mid laner, but not enough. 2 for nothing for the Golden Guardians, and they will take the Mountain Drake, they will take the Mountain Soul, and they will take the team fight.
AblazeOlive just laying it down again, annihilates him. Dragon Soul and Baron is on the table. Broxah would have to come up with some miracle still here.
Oh, but the fight is already erupting with WildTurtle caught out and beaten down. CLG has no chance of fighting for this. Finn will again be caught out unless he can flash over the wall, which he will. But he's only getting away to safety while his opponents can take the Baron. Survival is not the greatest prize in the world, but it's all he can get for now. Golden Guardians, 12-3, 6,000 gold ahead, and Baron's on the menu. Let's take another look at how the fight started out when Smoothie goes in, but the DPS is not in range.
Yeah, Smoothie goes in, he tries to force him down. Turtle's actually there, just pumping his autos into this Alistar, but Alistar with ultimate on, much tankier, and AblazeOlive was able to nuke them both. He also lands the stun onto Pobelter, and even though his ult got immune by the Zhonya's from Broxah, all you need is that one combo, the stun, long range, enough to get the pick. Then here, this is CLG just last-ditch effort. They're like, okay, maybe we just catch them by surprise, but nobody caught by surprise. Golden Guardians, they don't rush in. Really good caution there as they control ward the brush first, then have Niles go in. Immediate follow-up there from Niles, or for newbie on Niles initiation, and it just looks like this time around, Golden Guardians are looking so much more well-coordinated in these late game plays where they're not letting some of these possible comeback opportunities for CLG get out of hand. Baron now in tow means they can easily move up towards inhibitor turrets.
Golden Guardians should have this one in the bag. Nothing more to do than pick up a few extra turrets, push into the base. It would take a pretty impressive throw to lose control over this one now. 9,000 gold up. Baron empowered minions pushing into 2 different lanes. Teleport showing up onto the tier 3 turret to bring Finn back to the base and make an honest defense out of this. But Golden Guardians continue the 1-4 split. They have AblazeOlive hovering in between the lanes here, seeing if he can rotate to wherever for maximum possible assistance. But now he's joined up with a 4-man squad in top. Iconic will continue pushing mid, clearing out the minions. But the wave arrives into the top lane first. Niles steps up a little bit, takes a small amount of damage. CLG doing everything they humanly can to try to save this tier 3 turret, but one auto attack from Stixxay nearly kills it off. One more will take it out, and there it goes. It's the cannon minion getting the kill credit.
Yep, no need to even sync the waves there. They just buff up the cannon minion. If you can't take down that cannon minion as CLG, your turret will eventually wear away. And Golden Guardians inhibitor should be quick work. Iconic is trying to prep the mid wave as well for their transition over, but Pobelter's doing his best to clear this out. CLG, they're definitely down in the dirt right now, facing the Soul, facing the giant gold lead for Golden Guardians. They really have to come up with some huge miracle team fight here, where they are able to layer Lilia sleeps into Leona follow up and Viktor gravity field on the carries. But CLG, AblazeOlive's positioning has been extremely good thus far. He also has a stopwatch in addition to the Banshee's Veil. So that carry is so hard to actually trap for CLG and catch in their CC rotation. And then Stixxay, you look at him, he's playing Xayah as the ult. Both summoners available for him as well. So Golden Guardians should have an easy route with the super minions on top side creating pressure to be able to, finish up on bottom side.
Elder Drake in a little bit over 2 minutes. Baron will be up in about 3. That means if Golden Guardians can secure the Elder Drake, even if they don't end the game immediately, they practically guarantee themselves a Baron take less than 1 minute after, just because it's almost impossible to fight into a squad that has the Elder Dragon buff. And you can see Golden Guardians all grouping up down here in the bottom lane. Even though the Baron buff is gone, they're so far ahead, it's very easy to take that remaining tier 2 turret. A 7-3 turret count now, with the remaining inhibitor turrets standing in the mid and bottom lanes. Golden Guardians with total control of this bottom side CLG jungle, placing wards as they go, clearing out whatever vision they can, and leaving the base walls is such a scary proposition for CLG now, Kobe.
One auto onto Pobelter, and he's going to have to run back to Fountain there from Stixxay. Now, Flowers, here you go. You've got 1 minute, 17 seconds until the Elder Dragon. Your waves, you have in a good spot, pushed up right here to the CLG's base, but, oh!
We don't even have time to finish the hypothesis, buddy. Stixxay just one-tapped WildTurtle.
Woo! Slow and steady does not win the race.
And they are going all the way into the base now. Finn has to run away a little bit, but the mid lane inhibitor turret has already fallen. Pobelter nearly dies from the ultimate of AblazeOlive. Bottom lane tier 3 turret will now be the target. Minion wave just about ready here. Niles doesn't even care. Look at Niles, constantly flashing the thumbs up, just taking a shower underneath the turret shots, man. Make sure to get under your arm, because you gotta be sweating after the performance he's been putting on this game. Golden Guardians doing the work, getting it done. All 3 inhibitors down on the enemy team. Nexus turrets are the target, and WildTurtle is still dead for another 10 seconds. Multi-man Lilia Swirl Seed at least marks a ton of the Golden Guardians roster. They will disengage, they will not go for the end, but the Elder Dragon is just about to spawn.
What I was going to previously ask before is, how hard do you push when you see Elder Dragon coming up a minute away? You don't want that crazy comeback. AblazeOlive gets another one with the face check. Nice 100% there onto Smoothie. That'll be your Elder Dragon. And the answer, Flowers, is they don't want to take any risks, okay? They don't want to go into this YouTube comical highlight of them pushing on Nexus turrets, all dying, then CLG getting Elder Dragon and having some crazy comeback. So they back off, they get the extra kill, and they get the objective.
They're resetting back into the base. They're going to purchase with all the money that they've got in their pockets from destroying most of the CLG base. By the time they get back out onto the map, Baron will have spawned, and that means that Golden Guardians will have both super buffs at the same time with a Dragon Soul to push into the CLG base. As soon as they get this Baron, the game should end in 2 minutes.
I want to see Stixxay with another 2-shot on somebody. Just like walk up, couple autos, Gale Force, boom! Baron buff me out, as I said, picked up no problem. All 3 inhibitors, both end game uber buffs here for Golden Guardians. You know what? If you waited this long to get another win, you better win in style. They're gonna win with every objective on the map.
All right, Golden Guardians on the victory march. There is nothing standing in the enemy base, sans the Nexus turrets. So let's see what they can do to end this game. 41 minutes in, everything in the kitchen sink in their possession. This must be the end here. Golden Guardians with one Nexus turret down to half HP, waiting for the minion wave before they commit and push further. Sion with the engage, Finn trying to hold them at bay here, but the damage is just massive. It doesn't matter how tanky you are, 5k HP don't mean nothing. CLG losing everybody so rapidly. The Elder Drake's gonna claim the first. Golden Guardians putting the damage in, grabbing the second kill onto Broxah, number 3 onto Finn, number 4 onto Smoothie, number 5 onto WildTurtle. Everybody is down, and Golden Guardians will stop CLG, and they will get themselves their 3rd win in spring.
Let it be known, no one will defeat the Golden Guardians 8 times in a row. They put a stop to their loss streak. A big dub for the Golden Guardians. Honestly, Flowers, they clean up so many things. The proactive early game, starting out with the first blood there for Niles, but still continuing it. Jungle Gakes from Iconic. People wanted him to be more active. Goes mid. They get Pobelter. They punish him for not using his flash to get away from AblazeOlive. And AblazeOlive took that personally. Rest of the game, he was picking people off with that Syndra. Only died a single time, consistently landing his stuns and bursting out, CLG key members for these fights.
And I always bring up the fact that Golden Guardians were looking for improvement from game to game. And in this game against CLG, I don't think there was a single player on the Golden Guardians roster that was outperformed by their CLG counterpart. Every single player on Golden Guardians just played better League of Legends today, and that's exactly the kind of improvement I think this roster is looking for. Iconic and Newbie rotating around the map together, making plays, being aggressive. Niles just saying, you know what? Everybody's clowning on me for the KDA. If I'm going to die, I'm going to take you with me. Grabbing the kill at level 1. 1 minute into the game. So much good stuff from the Golden Guardians squad here today. That has been it for today's games, though. I'm Captain Flowers. That's Kobe. And it's all that we're going to be on the show for here today. The two of us are